Crusader!
Welcome to your life.
Neil the nail.
And the first human is gone.
That's the first nail in the coffin.
Oh, that's a gun.
Sorry, Crusader.
You on the flip side, Crusader.
Jar Jar Binks is injured by the crowd.
Acting on your best behavior. Turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to rule the world. It's my own desire. It's my own remorse. Help me to decide. Help me make the most of freedom and of pleasure. Nothing ever lasts forever. Everybody wants to rule the world. There's a room where the light won't find you. Holding hands while the walls come tumbling down. When they do, I'll be right behind you. So glad we've almost made it. So sad we had to fade it. Everybody wants to rule the world. Everybody wants to rule the world. Everybody wants to rule the world.
It's that time again, everyone, and that is obviously a broken spinning ball. But other than that, we've done superbly. Let's get that fixed and down in the corner. Welcome to the REBBL playoffs.
Professional as always.
We try, right? So that hype video brought to you not by me, but actually a man who's with us in the commentary booth right now. Crusader.
Gerbear, you did great.
Thanks.
It is time to go, isn't it? Well, it's been a long season. By long, I mean 13 weeks of things dying. And
isn't that every season?
Yeah, well, you know, I'm trying to build up the tension a bit. But yeah, things die all the time in REBBL. That's kind of how it goes. I've been rushing home from work. There's some student varsity rugby match going on tonight. And I'm sat in the traffic going, there's an actual big game I'm trying to get home for. And it is, of course, between Bash Incorporated and the Dark Angels of Lilith. This is PapaNasty's team. They're back again for the playoffs, but they're not quite as scary as they could have been.
Well, I mean, you say that, but there's still 3 legends on this team.
I mean, legends don't mean anything if they suck.
Yeah, but unlike Knife Juggler, Morgru, Ergony, and Groth can actually get things done.
But can they win?
Well, yeah, clearly.
There were previously 5 legends on this team until week 13 of the season, where Gdanik turned up with his Underworld team and killed a pair of them off. So what we are actually lacking is a thrower, and therefore sure hands on this team.
Yeah, we've sort of been speculating around the Big O and just around the traps that the lack of sure hands might be something that PapaNasty sort of feels a bit during the playoffs. And not being able to replace the thrower means that, well, you can't buy it back yet. So, We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, spiraling expenses has proven to be a massive problem for this Orc team at the moment, who, having lost 2 legends and about 400 SPP worth of Blood Bowl player, are still sat at 2140 team value.
Well, I mean, it's funny because they were at 2600 TV value, so they lost 440k worth of players in one game and are still above 2k TV. So it's kind of insane when you think about it.
It is very much insane, but of course the lack of sure hands means you probably don't want to be facing elves. So they're facing elves tonight.
Yeah. Like, we have seen PapaNasty lose last season to Rats, because Rats did Rats things.
And this is a 1-season-old Dark Elf team that's already at 1770 team value. And would you believe it has a leap strip ball blitzer? Oh dear.
Almost like it was made for a sure handless Orc team.
So that is the piece that you think might give DonkeyDragon a chance here. I think most people will have backed the Orcs to win this one, just because it's PapaNasty's Orcs versus a 1-season-old team. But there's 3 guard on this team. There's 1 Mighty Blow in Darth Darkwing Duck, and there's an Agi5 Witch Elf as well. DonkeyDragon might actually have a pretty decent tool set to get the job done here.
Yeah, I still get a lot of inducements, like 400k, so we definitely are going to see a wizard and a useful star player, possibly.
What he doesn't have is a lot of dodge at this stage.
I mean, that is actually fine, because PapaNasty has a lot of tackle. That dodge is not going to be that impactful, so maybe it's better to have block instead.
Well, on the team he's got what?
Right,
yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 block players and a wrestler as well. There will be enough for... Was there a bench or is there 11 players there? There's 12 players there.
Well, so
Yeah.
you could go wizard and like Eldril, or a different star player that is good.
Eldril Sideliner, of course, has a habit of spending most of his time in the KO box in the Rebel playoffs. We've seen it before in the past. Just a couple of minutes until we expect the game to kick off here.
Like Dark Elves, like we might see Hubris fielding, coming in this game, and he has 3 ball and strength 4. So he's actually really good right now, because his strength, his Mighty Blow, and it's another 3 ball in case one of them gets injured. So you can still punish PapaNasty for no thrower. So I don't hate that as a game plan.
Yeah, it may not be a terrible choice.
Well, PapaNasty was on for the bye week, wasn't he? He was leading that division for most of the season and suddenly pipped by 2 teams at the end, meaning he sort of slumped into 3rd place, just ahead of Sand Dune, who finished in 4th. So that means he has to do an extra game, and it's against a Dark Elf team that very much dominated Division 8F. They went, in the end, 11 wins, 1 draw, and 1 defeat in their 13 games. Won the division by 9 clear points over anybody else.
Not a bad effort at all.
No, pretty good. Although surprisingly, considering he's been around Rebel since Season 3, it's DonkeyDragon's first time in the playoffs. Although, that's not an accusation that's thrown only at him, is it?
Yeah, there is a certain person that also joined the same season and was in the same division as him that will be accused of the same thing.
I have no idea who that is.
PapaNasty saying on Discord that they've entered into inducements now.
Into inducement phase now, and that of course means it's time for some predictions. Who do we think? I know who Crusader's going to back.
Do you?
Yeah, because it's Big O, so I know what you Big O guys are like. It's just Big O blinkers at this point.
I will back DonkeyDragon. I think he really improved as a coach for the last few seasons, because I have followed him both in Clan and in Main Rebel, and he's been doing quite well in both. Classy, which is his clan, won the Clan League, so I think he has a shot here. He definitely has the tools to beat PapaNasty in his current state.
Not a playoff game currently going on, but Hubat are 1-0 up against the Marak Marauders. That's a big old audience for them too.
Might as well cast that.
Shouldn't be too long. As we say, they're in the inducement phase. It'll be DonkeyDragon deciding what he wants to pick up here.
We might see him just go for like apothecaries and use them very aggressively.
Yeah, no, we've got an inducement report if you would like it, coming out of PapaNasty.
Go on.
Wizard, lineman, reroll.
Oh, reroll is an interesting one. Also, not.
A wizard, a lineman, and a reroll. That's no mention whether or not the lineman is a merc with a skill. But PapaNasty says he is surprised.
I'm not a fan of the reroll. I would have expected DonkeyDragon to also go all out with his bank. Just to have a better chance to win this one.
Yeah, it is worth pointing out a few seasons ago that Bash Incorporated's worst ever defeat was to Sand Dunes Dark Elves, and it was by a scoreline of 5-0. Whether we're going to see a repeat of that tonight, I'm unsure, you have to say.
Both DonkeyDragon and Sandune joined REBBL in Season 3, played in Division 2 of G-Man, and they played Dark Elves. Coincidence? Yes.
Almost certainly yes. But let's get into it. The playoffs are back. So for the next 6 weeks, it is drama and nonsense and probably stupid memes. But most importantly, high-quality Blood Bowl. He says before PapaNasty piles on a bunch of elves and we probably see a pitch clear. So it looks to me like it is going to be the Orcs to receive. We're in PapaNasty Stadium. He has the weather dome, so unfortunately we've got a horrible blue tint for this opener. But we did pick up a standard merc rather than a star player. And a reroll and a wizard.
Let it rip.
Let it rip indeed.
So, for one of these two, after a whole season of grinding to get into the playoffs, it's going to be over in about 2 minutes or 2 hours' time. And
well, it could well be 2 minutes if they're unlucky.
That's the unfortunate thing of playing the first game, is that your playoff adventure for one of these two is going to be very short indeed.
I go rewatch the hype video 3 or 4 times.
We need to talk about these black orcs, because 3 of them are blodge, all of them are lock guard, and 3 of them are stand firm as well. Probably unlikely to be seeing the elves punching them all that much.
Yeah, probably not their first intended target. I mean, and then you've also got the lineman, Angry Angus, who's basically a Black Orc too, with strength 4.
I mean, like, with PapaNasty only having 1 bench, you just take any hits you can get, because if you do get 1 or 2 lucky removals, you might be men up, which is just nonsense. But would be funny.
I mean, like, I might have taken a bribe over a next reroll, but
yeah, I would have liked to see. I don't like the extra reroll. I don't mind the lineman. Like, I saw in chat someone saying that Eldril is better than the lineman, but I'm not sure, because Eldril is armor 7, and that additional armor point is actually really good for bench. And he already has like 8 dudes he doesn't want on the line, so he needs to bench one of them to put Eldril on, and I don't think it's worth. Like, Eldril is better than any one of those.
Picking up the 4th reroll might suggest we're about to see hellishly aggressive Dark Elves play.
Yeah. This is
I was just going to say we might see cage diving to a new level here.
This is very much the Dreamify school of Dark Elves, where you just go in and believe that everything will work.
Yeah, Jake does the same thing.
Dreamify, 4th reroll should be rostered. I don't know about that. I would not do it, but you do you.
Of course, remember, there's no sure hands on the Orc team, no thrower. So who's he going to carry the ball on?
That's a big question. I would somewhat suspect the strength 4 lineman with like Fend. But he might just carry it on a rookie. But I don't like carrying on a rookie, because that makes both down also a knockdown on the ball with block. So if he makes the leap, like, it's really unlikely for him to not knock the ball down. And if you have block, it's a massive advantage.
Here's the funny sort of like consideration though, right? Biter Bruce, the lineman at the back here, he's on 3 out of 6 SPP. If he levels, do you consider taking sure hands on a lineman?
I would take sure hands on a lineman, because
he's
like
better than a thrower once he's got sure hands, right?
Yeah.
Because he's armor value 9.
Like, you get less skills overall, and you don't get access to passing access. And I do know PapaNasty like both of those things. So maybe for PapaNasty's playstyle, no, but for my playstyle, I would agree. The issue is that you want to be able to replace them easily, and you like building players.
It's a short-term solution. A line orc with sure hands is 70k, right? How much is the default orc thrower?
70k.
So it's the same. So there's your thrower.
Yeah, I think, you know, in this situation, the needs sort of win out over preferred playstyle, right?
Yeah.
And if we try to turn him into a thrower, he'll definitely roll strength up. We know that.
No. That's not how, like...
Now that is a heavy commitment to the front line.
Yeah, like...
Yeah, this is sending a message, right?
A Blitzer can be a bit risky, because you can definitely... Like, if he gets a knockdown on the Black Orc on the side, you can totally get run around. And that could be very risky.
I'm just... Do the Dark Elves have kick? Not that I can see.
No kick on the team.
Yeah, a lot of skills, but no kick.
It's a skill you would like to see, but to be honest, the tactic of the Dark Elves is not like Wood Elves to just like steal ASAP. It's more of wait for a good time to leap into the cage and then use your RG5 leap to just pick it up, make the cage a cage of your own, and then score. Because you just don't have the speed of Wood Elves.
Yeah, no, sure, but I mean, like, kick's still such a versatile, like, not versatile, so it's such a useful skill overall.
It's a really good skill. It's a lot less strong on Dark Elves than on
Blitz.
Skaven, but I mean,
and a very deep kick. Can we find a gap?
Really, possibly.
I reckon. Where would the target be?
Now?
Here, yeah. Because you're potentially looking at maybe
the block guard stand firm Black Orc since he doesn't have dodge.
I'm looking at Furious Fred and wondering if we can maybe take him down. You could maybe roll a few 3+ with dodge to try and get through that gap. You got an Agi5 Witch Elf who could do that on 2+. Was that too aggressive a setup? Because with the kick going so deep as well, that line orc is going to be massively cut adrift from the rest of the team.
Yeah, like he could just go like aggressive here. If he gets the knockdown on the tackle lineman, he can still like get the RG5, get some dodge pieces through the gap with some dice, which is not horrible. And like you just have your important pieces based up, so life is still bad.
Here comes Darkwing Duck, and he gets the knockdown on Furious Fred.
That's an important one.
Now we'll see how aggressive he's going if he chooses to follow this. And he does.
Ooh, he gets a KO. That's a big
That's a
kill.
big result.
That is one
That's a tackle
tackle
off the pitch.
gone, and a guard as well. I mean, there's plenty of guard knocking round, but that's a huge start.
It makes the anti-leap cage tougher to build, and like the bigger deal is it's one less player for PapaNasty to move around, so it makes like just basing up with the scary players a lot more of a viable strategy to just hold the turn and like.
I wonder if the free reroll we bought is going to come in handy here.
Yeah, I think he's a lot more willing to reroll this turn with that free reroll. Which
I tell you though, if DonkeyDragon kills an Orc or two, he's going to become a bit of a name around the Big O.
Yep. I mean, like he can, like with enough dodges, he can get that.
Oh, the Agi5 is Snake Eyes.
Ah, well.
Uh-oh. Right next to the dirty player as well.
And that is not a good idea for Darth Duran here. Not a good idea at all. Because now there's 5 elves in base contact. And that is a double pow from Morglum Goldtooth.
Like the big issue is even if you get all the knockdowns, like if you don't knock down that blitzer on the front, he's enough alone to just like go get that ball and like lose you the game for PapaNasty.
I mean, that's true, but I mean, like you can also stick diving tackle on him after a blitz.
It's actually really difficult to free up your blitzers in this situation. Like you kind of want to block with all 3 of them.
I mean, Ogni over there can get freed up pretty quickly.
Do you block with a dirty player lineman who can 1-9?
You block with a Black Orc against an unskilled lineman.
But then
Darkwing Duck is not in range to score. He is 1 square short of scoring on the next turn.
If he does get the ball, like that's still bad times.
Darth Dragonfly is stunned.
I would have liked to see DonkeyDragon maybe putting another dude on Ergni to just make sure he doesn't get to be freed. Like, sure, it's another block for PapaNasty, but that should be fine. And we only see pushes. He rerolls that.
Oh, and he doesn't get the result he wants either. That's a reroll gone for Bashing.
I don't like that reroll at all.
No, I'm not a fan of it either, I must admit.
Like, now, if DonkeyDragon can find a way to just push Ergni away, or like knock him down because stand firm, like, DonkeyDragon has a good chance to just get the ball because he didn't make the pickup and you don't have a reroll or sure hands. This is very risky territory.
That was, I want rid of the Mighty Blow ASAP. It does mean we might not see a foul from the dirty player here either on the Witch.
I mean, it's a no
yeah,
assist
which
foul.
DonkeyDragon will be very happy with.
Like, the big issue with that foul is if you get sent off, you just open up a path for the Elves to like block that non-stand firm Blackhawk and just blitz Organy with Frenzy. So
yeah, but if there's a coach who would foul that player, it's certainly going to be PapaNasty.
fair enough. I still don't like that as a play. Like, that send-off probably ruins your game. But then again, like, the Witch can just like stand up, leap, walk away and like still threaten the ball. And if you fail the pickup, that's still a very big...
Here comes that pickup attempt, and it's bad.
Ooh. And the scatter is closer for the Elves. That's probably good for them. This is not good for
burning the reroll there on that double push is really sort of just left PapaNasty sort of holding his, his privates in his hands.
I can like jump a block with the Witch Elf onto the dirty player and then just like block the Black Orc and free up a path to free up his tackle Mighty Blow.
That'll be a wrestle.
He might, yeah, that's
You just stand firm, you'll wrestle that.
There's no point, yeah.
You see the wrestle?
Down goes Growth. So remember, this could have been much worse if it wasn't for that instant snake eye from Darth Duran Duran on the previous turn.
Yeah.
It could have been a hell of a lot better for the Orcs if they didn't just set up balls across the line of scrimmage too, but
Yeah, if they kept like a few players free and like having two Blackhawks on the wings mean that they are not going to do anything for a turn. And that that is bad.
I don't think PapaNasty respected the potential blitz there, or the Elves in general.
Yep. And that might cost him. Because I do think there is a chance to go onto the ball here if DonkeyDragon wants it.
Now this is a 1-dice block that we
I don't
sculled.
like that block. He could have used the Witch Elf for a 2-dice.
He wants the Witch Elf for something else.
I think he wants to use the Witch Elf to try and get towards the ball.
Well, now it's really risky because you kind of need the leap. And that's a 1 in 6 to fail.
Well, not necessarily. Well, actually, you've got to go through tackle, haven't you? Yeah, so you might as well leap at that point.
I would have liked to see him use the Witch just for the block.
Another 1-dice,
up,
and that push is no good.
I don't like the maneuvering of this turn. Yes, PapaNasty is still in a bad spot because he needs to protect the ball, not only pick it up, but I think we could have seen a lot more pressure coming in.
There's also going to be, I think, a little bit of concern in the back of DonkeyDragon's mind going that he doesn't want to get his Elves stuck down into like a protracted fight with the Orcs. Because I think push comes to shove, I think the Orcs are winning that if they get stuck in, a bit of a brawl.
I believe the best way to deal with that is just to score.
No, for sure.
Okay, so we're going non-tackle route now. We've made the 2+, and we've made more 2+. And here goes Darth Duran Duran, really putting a lot of pressure on here. Oh, no.
That's why. Ooh.
Oh!
Oh, no. I mean, you've got to arrow that, right? Oh, it's not even a good arrow, it's a niggle.
I believe. Ooh, he keeps the dead.
He's chosen the dead.
In chat.
Fucking Darth Duran Duran, take no energy.
Deathflaw is back. And that is a dead Agi5 Witch Elf.
I would have kept it alive at least. Because if you
a
do
niggly injury? 53 is a niggle, right?
It's either niggle or movement.
Man, a niggling injury on that witch elf would have been.
I mean, like, if you continue in the playoffs and you win this game and the next game, it's probably better than a rookie witch because it's AG5.
This is true. Yeah,
and
this
like,
is true.
sure, it might die, but it's AG5 with leap.
I mean, like a movement bust is also not that bad either because you've got jump up.
Yeah, if it was a movement pass. Like,
Tackle does
it
his job
probably
here.
was.
Remember, the Apo's gone as the mighty blow
Yeah,
is about to get piled on.
This could get real ugly real quick.
No, it didn't. Nice
Yeah,
fight
he's
on
still
idiot.
got two more. He's still got two more of those to come this turn.
That'll be a
He don't,
knockdown.
but that was the big one. Like, actually, no, the big one is if he can remove the strip baller.
Yeah.
That's a slightly tougher hit to actually get.
Strip baller is still in a place where he can get hit too.
He can get hit, but you at least need the jump up roll, which might fail.
I mean, this dude here is going to get hit for 2 dice.
Okay.
Nothing doing there.
Now,
Black
the
Orc
issue for the
should
elves,
just move
because-
around now.
Because they've just committed for the witch doing everything, now no one is in position to threaten the ball, so PapaNasty can probably afford to not pick it up for another turn, which is like the elves had a chance and now it's gone because they really like they should have moved more people before going for double GFIs and a dodge from tackle with no ribbon in hand, because like just having the two people in the back be slightly more forward, they could get in range of the ball at least.
For those who've missed it, the Agi5 Witch Elf Darth Duran is dead. A failed GFI to stand next to the ball upfield here. And it was Apo'd.
Potentially you can get a 2-man foul on this strip ball piece.
I'll repeat that because the choir was singing. Stouticus, thanks for the Twitch Prime sub 8 months in a row.
The issue with getting that foul... Actually, no, he doesn't get that foul anymore. You know, like, it was a bit weaker positioning to go for that foul, but he might just go for the no assist foul.
Man, like an assist, I might have considered it. A no-assist foul, I think you just let it go for the turn.
Yeah, it is
I think you'll have other
so,
shots at it.
Like, armor rate is a bit tough to break without assist.
Yeah.
Might go for a different foul. He could just foul a random lineman with loads of assists.
Been a dramatic start here. We've got one dead Witch Elf, Agi5. We've got one knocked out Line Orc in Furious Fred. We saw a blitz after PapaNasty lined his entire team across the LOS.
We have
Leaving
the ball.
just Bitter Bruce in the backfield here. Of course, lacking a thrower, so no sure hands on the team.
Yep. And like, this is where you really feel the pain of not pushing those two players in the back forward. Because if they were forward, like, you could threaten the wizard, so PapaNasty has to stay back. Because if you do pick up the ball, things are going to get a bit messy. But now, like, he's advancing. Next turn, he can actually reach his team. And, like, the wizard... Like, you can wizard it, but no one can reach it. At all.
There's a
So-
lot of elves based up against diving tackle here too.
Not many, just 2 that are not stand. 3 if you... Actually, still 2 if you include the stand dudes.
Well, there's 2 elves in the backfield who are yet to move in this game. We have the other witch, Darth DD, and Darth Devil Dinosaur as well, who have just watched that nonsense happen over the first 2 turns.
Do you think they're just sitting there just deciding whether or not it's worthwhile walking forward?
Possibly so. Very possibly so.
Re-evaluating life choices?
I wouldn't, like, remove that as an option.
Problem
I
now,
think-
of course, is that the dirty player's still on the field, and a couple of stuns are likely to be fouled next turn.
He can definitely like just blitz the dirty player here and try to push as many players to meaningful positions as he can. Which,
Well, I think DonkeyDragon needs to get his strip ball piece out of danger very quickly.
well, he can just 2+ dodge and like probably screen him off slightly.
There's a lot
but
of work.
I don't think like DonkeyDragon had some bad dice, but I definitely think he could have played it safer. Like going for the tackle dodge and 2G5 with the witch before he did anything important, and before that doing 2-1 dice, that's asking for trouble. And he got trouble. Like if he played it the other route, going for a more consistent play with the mighty blow piece, like sure he wouldn't like instantly score if it worked, but if it failed, he wouldn't just be completely out of position. And
Yeah,
that's,
I mean, like,
like his position is not because he went for a greedy play that was less likely, but a bit more rewarding.
yeah, I think saying he got bailed out, well, it's not untrue per se.
Yeah, like there
Doesn't
was definitely
exactly
luck
tell the whole
involved,
story.
but I think DonkeyDragon could have played this a lot more consistent. He had such a good position that like risking it for an even better position was kind of pointless. Because sure, that better position is amazing, but like you could just win with your position right now, so why risk it?
Dodge away from dive and tackle is good.
I mean,
A
it is a
fault
fake
would have
skill.
been a...
He's an elf.
No, I would have passed
Four
on
is
for
good.
anyway. Yeah, it would have been good.
He's an elf. He doesn't care. Diving tackle is a
Yeah,
fake skill
I mean,
anyway.
Losing the Witch Elf is probably the most punishing part.
Yeah.
Or quote unquote the part that really sort of like bailed out PapaNasty, if you want to say that.
Yeah, like if the Witch Elf just fell on the floor, no armor break, PapaNasty would still be in a bad spot. Because like that Witch Elf alone would mean this is not a viable play, because Wizard Witch Elf pick up the ball and scores.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even have to use the Wizard, you could just like 1D blitz it with Frenzy and Block, and you probably get the knockdown anyway. It's rather likely. So, you could just save the Wizard, be a bit greedy, and still score, which would be devastating.
So we're about to see an Orc cage. And for those in chat who are wondering, DonkeyDragon is Andy 90 in game.
Yes.
Which explains that little bit of confusion. But there's a lot of elves still on the ground. We have done our best to tie up the dirty player on this right-hand side, so he does need a 3+ dodge if he wants to foul the mighty blow. But the position of the cage suggests that that might be high on the agenda, to be honest.
There is
The
a
issue
risk
here is this
involved.
dirty player is currently tied up by 2 elves.
Yeah. Like, if he fails that dodge, then like DonkeyDragon has a much better sack play, because they had like 2 elves in position to like just be next to the ball after he drops. So if he can place from the left, pushing it to the right, like that's just such a better position than if he like PapaNasty was cage 2 squares to the left.
Who's winning the QB this year? That's a good question, Swag.
So, of course, one of the inducements was a reroll. That is now gone. The
It
wizard
will
is
be
still in
back for
play.
next half.
It will.
I don't like not having guard in the middle of this quote-unquote anti-leak cage.
I mean, you can make it a red dice, but you can never make it a 3 red dice. So, this is kinda good enough, because DonkeyDragon is not going to leap 2 people into the cage, because he only has 1 leap. And like,
Well, now he does.
the red dice is good enough. Like, the red dice is still 70% to knock the ball down.
We're going to blitz a strip baller, and we're going to find a POW on Darth Donald Duck. Potentially setting up for a foul as well. We might not need it.
KO's good enough.
I wonder if Papa's gonna... No, he's happy with it.
Yeah. Should be happy with that.
Off the
He can
field is
go-
fine.
I've seen him pile on KOs before.
Well, like, he can just now rather safely 1-in grind
Kill the
it.
tree.
the big question is DonkeyDragon going to use the wizard, and how does he plan to make using the wizard worthwhile? Because he did lose a lot of important players for that wizard to be good, both leap players and RG5.
I think we'll see a dodge into a foul here.
Well, the dodge attempt at the very least, right?
It's not the biggest of fouls, but he will go for it. Make the dodge.
Nasty Nick, he's going for the mighty blow, and 2 right as well.
Oh, another injury.
No
that is
Apo.
a send-off.
Badly hurt.
It is a
but
send-off, but I would argue it's done its job.
that is the Elves' 2 best players now gone.
I would argue the strip baller.
Well, 3 best
well,
players.
I mean, yeah, I was just going to say, I'd say 3 if you're counting the KO. I think that sending off is still worthwhile.
There is an element of risk because now PapaNasty is out of bench. So if the Elves go steroid mode and just murder stuff, things will go really poorly. Like if the fireball like injures 2 orcs, like that is much worse because of that send off.
It's a question though, like if you use the fireball now, that
Probably not. But he's
Nah.
putting a scoring threat, so we might see the fireball next turn. This is suggesting that at least.
Is that a scoring threat? It's a bit far up the field.
I mean, he can score.
He can. 2 dice coming in on the stand for Morgrew. That's unfortunately not going to send him anywhere.
Well, he can.
and Stand Firm has been so good for his for these orcs.
It's a good skill. If only they also had guard alongside it. Oh, he didn't dodge out the blitzing player. I don't like that. That's
Well, it's,
more-
oh, it's not a dive and tackle, that blitzer, is
No.
it?
That's just handing out a free hit. With my
No, PapaNasty lost a diving tackle piece. Was it diving tackle? Might have had pro. I can't remember.
It was a legend. It had lots of skills.
Manu Saiju?
I was just happy that it died. And sad. But happy. And sad.
But still happy.
So
Yeah.
turn 4, and
mixed emotions.
plenty has happened so far, you have to say. Currently at
I mean,
9 versus 8 on the field.
Yeah, like the numbers game isn't that far in PapaNasty's advantage because of that set off. Maybe there is a world where you can stall him out and keep your wizard. Especially
I
if you
mean,
didn't
that world relies on you not losing any more elves over the next couple of turns.
I mean, I've seen elves stall people out with a lot less players. And like PapaNasty is halfway into the half and hasn't really advanced anywhere. Like he's halfway there as well, but it's going to be tougher to advance going forward if DonkeyDragon decides to get in the way.
So I think we know where the ball's going.
Which would seem to indicate that.
What you would say is that PapaNasty's now out of players that he might foul with, because one of them has the ball, and the other line orc is pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think you're likely to foul a Black Orc or a Blitzer.
It's essentially a 5 Black Orc team, this.
Nope.
We'll
You
see the
wouldn't
hits.
give a Black Orc fend.
Just a push on Darth Dingo, so that's a sigh of relief for DonkeyDragon, who won't be losing any players to injuries this turn.
Indeed.
Well, we've still got a Blitz up as leave.
True, but that blitz will need a GFI if it's the blitz to hit the lineman that can get
It's
the hole
also
through the cave.
probably unlikely to see a piling on then.
Likely.
It is going to be a
Well, it's the
GFI on the
front of it.
blitz, and that GFI is fine, and we get a knockdown. So, famous last words, no damage on the turn. Looks like I might be wrong.
Will he pile on?
Of course he does.
Yeah, it does.
What do we know about PapaNasty?
I was looking at like the front of your cage, but I guess the Black Orc there is probably enough. Considering
Now-
you'd have to blitz him unless you want to go try and leap.
Will
dive
this bait the fireball? Is it going to be a fireball? Is it going to be a wizard? Surely the fireball is a bad option against orcs.
It is, but like at this point you lost a lot of stuff, and if you are going to go 1-0 down at halftime, and probably also be a lot of men down, you might think that might as well use the fireball now because it might win me the game, but the wizard later like probably will not do enough to win me the game because I'll just play from behind.
Pow on more Groot, and we find a stone as well, so that's useful.
One of the KO.
Why not a kill?
I find it difficult to think that this player up the field won't retreat back a bit because he's just no good up there right now.
Yeah, he just
Yeah,
doesn't
it seemed
do
to be a
anything.
bit ambitious to move down there so early.
Like the thing is, if you get the ball and you plan to pass it, you can just pass it to someone who can just run away. He doesn't have to score immediately. So, like having a player so deep doesn't achieve anything.
No, and scoring early against PapaNasty's Orcs is probably not what you want to be doing in the
Like
first
you
place.
prefer to like have 2 turns where he just chases you down the field.
So the Witch Elf's getting involved, and well, not for long.
We might see a reroll on that to get the sidestep on the ball, but we don't. I don't agree with that. You have 3 still. I think that reroll would have been worthwhile.
With
Because
one
now
dead
you
Witch, I
have-
don't actually think he's brave enough to commit the Witch Elf to the risk of a tackle mighty blow hit.
Don't see him pull the flare down. Don't like it. I really don't like keeping that super deep player. Yes, he will level up if he scores, but he probably doesn't score.
Angry Angus knocking down a lineman here.
Something about a deer in the headlights.
Another thing to consider is that PapaNasty might be forced to just wait a turn here. With that stun, and like the 2 of the Blackhawks not really being able to go forward, one of them being marked, one of the Blitzers being marked. Like you just have the ball, a Blackhawk, and one of your Blitzers really being able to go forward. So maybe the plan is to just try and stall him out,
Jump
and
up,
maybe get a
pow.
better Wizard next turn.
From one of the Pom Blitzers. He's not through the armor this time, but, well, what do you think's coming?
I've seen this before.
No questions asked, and we're through into a KO this time. That's 4 gone. 2 of them
Might have
permanently
needed
sent.
that Blitzer standing though, because there is a gap right now, and you need to fill that gap. And that might not be as easy as PapaNasty would like.
No, this is base and hit right now. It's base and hit.
That's how you get lightning bolted into passing to that dude with like super out of position, but kinda wins the game if he gets the ball. Because like no one can reach him for like 2 turns.
I don't disagree.
This is looking more and more like a potential Wizard
Oh, he's
o'clock
going
moment.
for the witch. He does get the witch down, but you can sidestep to a very good spot.
You can, but you're going to pile on this armor value 7 piece.
But if you do pile on
Yeah.
that, that's another good player not protecting the ball. And at this point, like, you don't need the wizard.
It's all about damage right now. Darth
The ball
DD.
is open! You literally cannot protect it. Like, he doesn't need the wizard. It's just 2 dodges. What are you doing? This is not a good play. This is asking to, like, get passed on to that idiot. So deep into the field.
He's not an idiot if he scores, Gerbear. He's a genius
I'm
if
not-
he scores.
He's not an idiot if there is a bigger idiot on the field. Fine. I really don't like that pylon. Yes, he could have removed the witch, but having him standing locks down the wrong lineman from the
What we're
recovery.
going to see, what we're going to see here is the famed eye cage.
Where is he going?
Feel it. He's going to step up behind that Black Orc and slot his player in right in there. The famed eye cage.
He's surely
Ah.
not going to stand in here. He's also surely not going to hand off to a Black Orc right now.
Probably better than any other play, but still bad because you just slide the ball.
He's moving there.
I don't like. I'm with
not
Gerber
fair.
on this one. This is just asking for a trouble.
Like, insta lightning bolt, and there are so many bad scatters for you.
I think that's a lightning bolt.
Like, if it goes on to either of the prone blitzers, there's a very good chance it's going to bounce out into one or
No
tackle.
wizards.
What?
Nope.
But he can get the
Oh, man,
guard.
that's-
He can get the guard in play with the GFI here. Can he get a shot on the ball?
He can get a 1 dice. He will need to
Not if he
reroll
rolls
that.
What if he keeps
I-
rolling ones? Well, I suppose he would have rolled a 1 on the wizard, right? That is a second
that's how
snake
dice
eye.
work.
That's a second snake eye of the game for the Dark Elves, and PapaNasty is getting away with it here.
I still
Okay,
think,
that's PapaNasty being bailed out of being in a
That's
stupid
bailed out. That is definitely
I
bailed
still
out.
think like there should have been a wizard there. Like
Oh,
sure,
for
it
sure.
would have failed anyway. This
Well,
is kind of
I
showing
mean,
that
it might not
DonkeyDragon.
have failed, right?
Yeah, but this is still a bad play from DonkeyDragon, I argue, because the wizard was so much more consistent.
I mean, if the wizard fails, you can still generate a hit on the ball.
Nah, true, he made the dodge.
Like the thing is, if the wizard works and you score here, go to 1-0 at halftime. You just need to score quickly on the second half, and you pretty much won the game.
We're going to pile on that Dark Elf.
He might get another chance to wizard if
Yep.
he has players on the pitch.
Well, he still has. Like the issue is for PapaNasty is that those prone players are actually really difficult to remove because he's not going to foul, and
No,
Yeah,
but he
he's gonna-
can stack diving. He can stack diving tackle right around the witch elf and things, and make it very difficult for her to get out and move across the left-hand side of the field.
just one good dodge to mess you up though. And if he keeps on piling on at the rate he has been, but diving tackle, it's on the floor.
Yeah, but it can stand up.
But what if it piles on? Which it probably will.
I mean, I don't think it. I don't think it
Well,
will.
we do still have the blitz. Although you get a jump up block.
He's right next to the pylon. Come on, PapaNasty, you know what to do.
I mean, right now, he should just do a jump up hit and then stay exactly where he is.
No, he should just stand up because if he fails the jump
Jump up block.
life is really bad.
He'll
Like,
take the boat down here.
Like,
Nope.
No,
I
you don't
think
take
that
a
was
wrestle.
bad.
You don't take against wrestling.
I think that was a bad jump up because standing up was so important. Because if you don't stand up, the witch can actually like run away with some dice. But if
Yeah, I mean, there's
And, like,
I
it's
think-
a 1 in
I think
6.
If he'd failed that, I would assume we'd see a reroll. To be honest.
still 1 in 36 to really have a bad time, and we have seen DonkeyDragon pretty much get from a really good spot to a really bad spot because of that.
Another stunt comes in.
Like there's still definitely a good wizard here. You can blitz the diving tackle with your guard and the lineman from the floor, and then the witch can run around and do stuff. That's like
The problem is that we're passing a turn. That's the problem.
Turn 7 bolt, stop him from scoring.
I don't like that. Boo! Everyone, boo in chat for DonkeyDragon for just passing a turn in playoffs.
I mean, there is an element of preserving your players for the
The
next
stand
half.
firm was the issue because we couldn't have pushed the diving tackle away.
Yeah, but you just need a pow. It's 55%, and might as well go for it. Like, what are you saving the wizard for? Like, do you think you will get a better shot next half? Because now you're like PapaNasty is still missing 2 players, and he really overcommitted to a bad spot like last turn and didn't really recover. Is it going to happen again? Will you have the players at that point to punish that?
Pedro Jack is right. This half could have been so very different.
If not for a couple of ones, yeah.
Yeah, for some key snakes at the worst possible time.
Like, PapaNasty's unlikely to foul because he's got nothing he can really foul with. I think preserving players for the second
Fouling
half.
with the diving tackle, let's go.
I assume we'll see another pass.
I think
I might
DonkeyDragon.
consider a wizard.
Bit of
I mean,
Bruce
it was
is
a
going
one-
to level up here.
It was a 1-9 to stop the score. I've seen worse plays. And if you do get it,
Can't
might
expect
as
Elves
well.
to play late men anyway.
I don't know. I
There's
think
nothing to think about
DonkeyDragon throw away so many options.
There's actually nothing for him to punch, is there? So,
No, there's legitimately nothing to think about. It's just walk it in.
I mean, he can vanity pass.
No.
I mean, he can. He's not going to.
Yeah, I
but
mean, he can, but no.
I think PapaNasty might have broke because he didn't get to pile on a
Well,
thing.
would you believe it, folks? The first touchdown of the Season 9 playoffs goes to an Orc lineman.
Clap, 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 clap.
Bitter Bruce makes it 1-0 to Bash Incorporated after a half that has produced a lot of debate in chat, you have to say.
I don't think either coaches played it very well, but that's my honest opinion.
Look, I think there's certainly things he could have done better as Takeo comes back for the Orcs. But I mean, like passing those last few.
Wow.
I mean, there
It's
is
not-
another role.
There is, but it's beginning to smell a little bit like it's not the Dark Elves' day here.
It's like
He
should
will
have
not
went
stop
for
rolling
it.
ones, will he?
I'm not sure what this setup is trying to achieve, except giving DonkeyDragon more good stuff to hit.
He just doesn't want a one turn here.
I mean, it's movement 7 and he doesn't have the players to do it.
Well, I mean, you can stop the one turn by just putting 3 stand firm on the front line, right?
I mean, that works too, yeah.
Like, you don't, like, to one turn
Maybe-
here, he still needs, like, the quick snap and a very good kick.
And like a million
Like, the quick
pushes.
snap. Like, even with the quick snap, it's a tough one turner, and you need it because you don't have the player count. So, I would just put like 3 random dudes up there. Because if you do lose a Black Hawk, that's gonna hurt a lot more.
Alright, now we're seeing things go to the back.
I'm still not sure why bother putting the stand firm there. It's not gonna happen. It doesn't have the numbers. Especially because it kinda has to use the sidestep for the one turner. But at the same time, that's his frenzy.
Well, you never know. We could see a dead Orc.
Yep. I mean, I think
Mildly entertaining.
DonkeyDragon is much more likely to actually get a dead orc from this turn 8 than to one turn. Even when you put 3 line orcs on the LOS.
Who's going to Rainfall?
That's me. I would be 2 seconds.
Oh, Gerbear. It's ours. We can talk about Beyblades all we want.
Oh yeah. So what's your favorite Beyblade Crusader and why?
Oh, clearly the Metal Fusion Death Quetzalcoatl. Clearly.
I mean, I can't argue with that. That's
No.
solid logic.
I mean, there is something to be said about the Spriggan Garuda as well. I mean, that's a very powerful bay.
I mean, sure. But like the El Dragon Distractor FS is also really good, and you should consider him as a good counter.
But this the Spriggan Requiem. I mean, like, you know, it's just come off the ban list. I mean, Maximum Garuda is also pretty good.
No.
Clearly. I mean, they had to be banned for a reason, right?
I have returned. I don't know what you're talking about. We'll edit that bit out.
Let it rip, Harringzord. Let it rip.
Here comes the kick, and it is a perfect defense.
But put the orcs on the line so they don't block you.
Yeah, more Orcs. This is what we need. More Orcs on the front
I
line.
mean, it is
Preferably
the
with stand
correct
firm.
play. Man, just put
Yes,
with the guard.
Travis, strangely there is.
It's just not going well for the Dark Angels of Lilith. I think you would argue it's going badly.
It
Hey.
is going badly, but it could have gone better with the same dice.
You see, clearly should have chosen to receive, and then all the dice would have been thrown in the other order, right?
I don't think that works that way at
Oh
all.
God, PapaNasty, what are you doing?
Yeah, Orcs.
Putting all the
Okay.
orcs on the line, so he's not going to get hit in return. This is actually a fine play.
Except,
Giving me
well,
clicks.
the elves can dodge and still hit some things.
Yeah, but they're going to get less hits that way, and like you gave them valuable pieces anyway. So
Put 11 on the line. Put 11 on the line. Do that. Just, yes, I like this. This is a show of dominance.
You missed one.
What's he doing back here, the coward? There you go.
I think that's a really bad plan.
If you thought 10 on the LOS...
But he's the only AVA, and he's actually really easy to hit.
Intimidation defense.
If you thought 10 on the LOS was greedy, you haven't seen 11.
Why is this dude on the LOS like the AVA? It's so bad. You can just
Excess
hit
is calling
him.
a riot into a 2-turn.
But it's a perfect defense.
It is a perfect defense, yeah. Which makes a riot unlikely. Although, to be fair, chat are rioting right now, so that counts. Darth Dragonfly is going to try and pass this to Darth Donkey. And Darth Donkey has caught the ball, so there we go. And that's half time.
No, but you could have blocked the AVA.
No.
Yeah, no. I don't blame him, to be honest.
I mean, I would have blocked the AVA. You have a reroll, might as well. If he dies, it will be fun.
Incorporated have the lead at half time. And we need some KOs to come back if we can possibly get some. There we go. As Meatloaf once said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
2 is a quantifiable amount, yeah.
Where we have the block lineman on the sideline, but we do get back the strip ball. Little late.
No LOS hits. Intimidation worked.
Yeah, but Meatloaf never sang 2 out of 6, so the reference wouldn't have worked. Come on.
Yeah, Jesus, get your shit together, Solid Dragonfly. You're tearing this family apart.
Now, Dare Cannon is correct. I believe we need some sort of dominance asserting play from the elves here. Maybe fireball the coach on the sideline. I don't know.
Turn 1 lightning bolt on the AV8 line blitzer and just kill him.
No.
Kill him, Apo failed.
Lightning bolt on the lineman who's just level. Kill him. Apo fails. No
So,
hands from this.
of course, what's interesting here is that the fourth reroll. This is overtime format. So that does allow us to play a little bit more aggressively in the second half to maybe get the 1-1. And still have rerolls spare for overtime, right?
Yes, but like, your plan is definitely not overtime. You kept the wizard because you kinda plan to like win this in normal time by scoring twice this half.
Well, a wizard in overtime isn't terrible. A riot has happened.
Oh, touchback. The ball.
It's straight in the crowd, which means that was a misclick. Or he didn't aim at the centre.
No, he rolled the 2 on the scatter. It was a mistake.
I think some sweepers would have been advisable here, but that's just me.
No, we don't want sweepers. That's a pow on the blodger, by the way.
He had tackle.
He did. But it was still a pow. And that is also a pow on Angry
Yeah,
Angus.
but it was like also a push pow. That would have been good enough. If he powers this one, then it's a power on a blodger. And it probably will, because that's how dice works.
Another
See?
pow. 3 out of 3.
That's how dice works. I know
He's
something
really good.
about this game.
Darth D-Dog here. He's going to not stand firm. is
I
Morgan
don't like
Gold.
that. 'Cause,
Well, he might have been worried about a foul, maybe, from the elves.
I don't like the chain
No,
push
this
even more.
is all part of PapaNasty's
Like-
ability to sweep.
Surely that
If
chain
he
push
just-
blocks his path through.
Yeah, like if you just pushed the line orc back and like followed, he could have just hit the like the 0 SPP line orc and just put like 1 or 2 scoring threats that way.
PapaNasty has sweepers now.
Which one?
But they're all aligned
The
again.
three-
We've got an 11-man line.
The 3 who got knocked down, they're now sweepers, right?
The
they're further back
range
than you were.
suggests otherwise. I don't like that play, but I think DonkeyDragon might have hit the point where he's too tilted to actually play, seeing him pass turn 6, 7, and pretty much 8, barring that pass.
Do you think DonkeyDragon's realised what he's done?
I don't know.
Oh, he went for the guard. I was wondering why the hell he went that way if he was targeting the line orc. But he wasn't. He wanted to get that loner killed, the rookie killed, by standing him up against Morgrew.
Seems like a poor life choice.
I mean, you can achieve
Might
your
work out.
goals if you set them to be really bad.
Your daily goal is don't die today.
Failed.
If only wizards worked in a straight line. And we could have fireballed the entire
A line
team.
of flame.
An actual
Like,
flamethrower as opposed to a fireball, right?
Chain lightning, horizontal chain lightning.
It's like a massive earth shock. In a line, hitting all the orcs. Impaling them.
That I would pay to see.
Yeah, that would look amazing. And also lots of dead orcs. Which
Well,
would be funny.
some people are asking for a refund on playoffs, but there's a lot of games to go.
Since you can get any money you paid for the playoffs back.
There's another 28 games just in this round, so plenty more where this came from.
11 man on the line. You just activated that trap card.
And don't worry, this is just
Yes,
G-Man throwing an early game to give the Big O, much like last season, a misplaced sense of confidence before it all goes wrong.
Yeah,
we got
PapaNasty
three
will
of
hold
them,
his own chance anyway.
Here comes a pylon on Darth Day. And the KO cycle begins again.
It's the circle of life. You stand up, you get knocked down by a big green thing, and then you get stomped on by a big green thing.
Yep.
We've all
He's
been
probably
there.
going to keep you down.
I don't know what pubs you've been going to, Harringzord, but yeah. Yeah.
I live in Yorkshire.
Oh,
The English people in the chat will have laughed at that.
my sympathies, I guess? I don't know. From what I can tell, you sound like you live in a university town with all the noise that goes on every now and then.
Live in a fairly big city that has all things to all people, really. But also it's in
sounds-
Yorkshire.
Okay.
A metaphor. Yeah. Metaphor.
We're about to put dive and tackle stand firm on the ball, and it wasn't really too difficult to do it.
Only he had lead.
If only he had
He did-
Juggernaut, so we
Aw.
could have surfed him, but he doesn't. So,
I mean, he
Alas.
doesn't have Juggernaut. Could have induced Roxana.
that
for
was
the
suggested at the start, by the way.
Yep. She's not a bad star. AG5, Leap, Juggernaut with Frenzy. Pretty nice.
Of course,
Would
another
be
thing
okay.
that might have been useful right now would have been an Agility 5 Witch Elf, but
Yep.
you can't always win at life, can you?
I mean,
Can't always get what you want.
Having said that, I mean, he could go and surf the Line Orc, I suppose.
you can also get like an easy way to just blitz at one dude, have half your team go just past all the orcs, and still score.
He probably... yeah, I mean, he can just blitz his way through Furious Fred, right? And then if he can make the 4+ with dodge, still
And
at
he doesn't need to
75%.
make the 4+ dodge. He can pass to the lineman on a 3+.
Also a good idea.
Like, it's easier, it's safer, and like, might as well. Like, sure, your witch might die, but you get to score.
Well, apparently we're okay with that, so...
She might.
I mean, one of them already died, so what's the difference? You get to score.
Of course, chance of the dive and tackle dodge would give you a fast player up the field and a blodger in possession of the ball. And on a 75% still
You can
decent.
cage up.
Yeah, but a failed diving tackle dodge here would be fairly
Curtains.
disastrous.
You could also
might
say
suggest.
that diving tackle is a fake skill and just like dodge first action.
Wrestle tackle blitz to try and get rid of... Oh, well, we've powed him, so that also works.
It was a very likely chance. to knock
Diving
him
tackle
down.
that.
But where are we going? Because, of course, we don't have the option to go through the line now.
Yeah. I wouldn't have
Yeah,
hated,
old country.
like if this was like 2 turns forward, like turn 13, a lightning ball on the diving tackle would have probably been a good play just to try to bring it to overtime. But
It almost looks like we're going to try and cage up here.
Yeah, but we're going to do that and also try and knock down a blodge, stand firm Black Orc with a loner.
Seems ambitious, but, you know.
30% of the time, it works every time.
Darth Dragonfly has dodged away on the 2+. I definitely
That was
move the ball because you are still next to the diving tackle stand firm.
It can just like go like to the weird cage between like the two linemen and the two guard guys. Oh, is he fouling?
Are we going to try and foul him?
Why are
He
fouling?
is fouling it!
Don't foul. That's a bad foul. You're like completely open.
Well, it's not a bad foul if it kills him, right? Didn't kill him.
Bad foul.
That's
Bad foul
problematic.
confirmed.
Where do you move your witch elf now?
There. But it's got jump up.
There are many places you could have put a witch elf. This is probably
Oh, this is bad,
one.
actually. Yeah.
Like he gets a free 2 dice block to get guard on the ball, and then like.
Yeah, but you can
Jump
actually
around,
just move
go.
both. All you need to do is sacrifice that line orc to cancel both of those things, and you can block both of those players down, and likely enough get a shot on the ball here.
I mean, you can just like block with the Black Orc, bring the Growth, the Blitzer around with 2 GFIs, and you hit the ball 2 dice. I'll take that, because that also puts even more diving tackle on the ball. That foul was bad.
Maybe we're trying to bait some sort of fireball on the orc team by getting them clustered together. I don't know, to be honest.
Like the issue is, even if the foul was,
Harringzord, you can fireball a bunch of orcs if they're standing next to your players, I suppose.
I mean,
the
DonkeyDragon is at the moment seeming short of ideas as to how to beat this orc team.
With a big stick would be my advice.
even if he did kill that dude on the foul, there would still be a 2 dice on the ball with nearly to no dice. If you're saying that where you are right now is a safe spot, you would be so much safer if you were like 1 to the left, because then there is no easy path to get guard on you. Or even like 2 to the left, and then you're next to like a different guard.
Well, we're going to have guard on the ball.
Yep.
Somewhat unsurprisingly.
I mean, you could just say Orc GFIs never happen, and like PapaNasty blitzes you but fails because they never happen. And like there isn't a jump up hit on the lineman because there are too many counter assists on you, so you kind of have to use the blitzer on the left there to run around and hit the witch.
The thing is, Barmushan, there's no real need to go hell for leather on criticising the bad plays. We can call them out, but we know both these coaches are good at Blood Bowl because they've made it to playoffs.
I mean, I'll be honest here, if I wasn't brutal with DonkeyDragon, I think Viking Cop would have slapped me. Because it's his clanmate, and we recap together, and he's not here, so it's my job to tell DonkeyDragon that he's an idiot.
We're going to come around with a couple of Orc GFIs to hit the ball. And that'll do it.
Yep. Rip.
That definitely will do it. Where's she going to sidestep?
Probably like left was the right option, because you're most likely to get...
Oh dear, Darth DD's injured.
It's bad.
She'll be okay.
Yeah, the scatter's actually okay for the elves.
I mean, it's not amazing because you just don't have anywhere to go anymore. PapaNasty went very wide, and there's
There
nowhere safe.
might be a reason to move this guard, what's his name, Furious Fred, onto the sideline now, because you get a jump up hit against the wrestle's tackle piece.
I mean, if you go there and just stand up, that means that the only player that can really move is that guard blitzer.
Guard piece, yeah.
Like, sure, you could sort
Then he
of
goes this
move. Like, PapaNasty will probably take the jump up hit here, which I think is unnecessarily risky.
I reckon PapaNasty will take a hit given the chance, yeah.
I don't like it, but like at this point, you're so far
he
ahead.
wants to pile on.
Doesn't.
I wonder if he might fireball that.
I mean, there is like an ultra potato play available. You could pick up with the guard guy, hand off to the guard tackle guy, and just like believe.
The risk of the fireball, though, is you put your own players in danger, don't you?
Well, it's a loner. It's not technically his player.
Yeah, but doesn't your turn end if you fireball? No, it doesn't end if you fireball your own dude, does it?
It's only if you fireball
If
your
they've got the ball carrier.
We're going to leap.
That's one way to get out of that.
Well,
attack.
this suggests that we are just... Oh, we're going to throw one.
This suggests that we are going to die.
Okay, so we didn't throw a snake eye, which is good.
Yep. That's an improvement.
But now we don't have any rerolls for what is presumably about to be a shut my eyes and hope this works play.
In theory, he could like dodge out.
Oh look, it's a 1!
No,
He's rolled another 1.
In theory, he could. In practice, he can't.
If two elves don't leave the pitch this turn, I'd be sort of surprised.
I would suggest that this goose might be cooked.
Yes. Well, it was kind of cool when DonkeyDragon said, I don't want the chance to maybe use the wizard when it was good, like 3 turns in a row, and then end turned instead of like doing stuff.
I mean, I don't want to overly criticise the Dark Elf coach, because he's rolled a lot of 1s at key moments, and on a different day, maybe he played this right, but not today. If only there was some other G-Man coach who's due to face a Big O coach that could resolve this little situation.
If only.
There's a pylon.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, why not?
It says a lot that when
I don't see a world where PapaNasty just doesn't automatically put piling on now.
it says a lot that when Steve said kick off the POs with a 3-0, I read pylon.
Oh, it's elf.
This is a
It's
good
elf.
surf. This is a good surf.
We like selves.
Yeah, we do like
There's gonna
surfs.
be
Well, the crowd are merciful today.
I mean, it's really tough to like notice that dude because he just like glided off the field as a corpse. Like the crowd probably assumed he's like just a random casualty of the game. Just like pulled him up for the pile of corpses.
I think at this point it's about survival mode for next season. Luckily enough, the 2 other casualties are just badly hurt on the good players. That witch elf dead.
I mean, there is a scoring threat, and it wasn't blitzed, and it doesn't have diving tackle on it, and there is a wizard. So,
Is this
wizard
the ultimate?
believe.
The ultimate.
Gerbear's just stating all the facts.
The ultimate rope-a-dope.
If he lightning bolts early after a failed pickup, there is a chance.
I mean, I guess. I almost don't see PapaNasty picking up the ball, though, to be honest.
If he doesn't pick up, then that's even better.
No, to be
Just
fair,
lightning bolt
any
without
player
tackle.
that I was going to say any player that picks up the ball is at risk of being lightning bolted. So
Yep.
I don't think any of them want to do it. Although Furious Fred is braver than you might think.
Okay, you lightning bolt the ball, it scatters well, and you just like long bomb it. Let's go.
I mean, if you are going to use the wizard that you paid for, I suppose now is the time. No, he's passing the turn.
Why? You had like a 0.1% chance to bring it to overtime and still lose.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind you just stand in front of the end zone and wait for turn 16 before you're walking in.
I mean, yeah, no reason not to. Make sure that this is a 2-0 with no chance for random kick of event.
Yeah.
Like, don't let a Morka happen with like 7 blitzes.
To be honest, I assume he's going to lightning bolt his own loner at this rate.
I mean, he could just like lightning bolt a good blitzer and kill him, because that would be funny.
Yeah, this is DonkeyDragon accepting that this one is done and basically keeping his team for next season at this point. Although Angry Angus has some other ideas.
I don't like this. I think Mr. Viking Cop, who is on vacation, will be disappointed. And might kick DonkeyDragon from the clan. And then bring him back.
Roll one on the wizard.
In that case,
I mean, what
fireballing.
do you do?
Like, you know that if he's going to wizard like a Linok, he's dead. For sure.
But what do you do, right? Like, you've got 3 players injured, you've got 2 that are KO'd. You're down 1-0, your players are getting manhandled across the pitch. There's not a whole lot
At this point, it's too late, but you had options before that.
A handoff to Livid Lance here. Orc linemen are dominating the Rebel playoffs.
Like, when you constantly say no to options, and then you run out of options, it's kinda your fault.
No, I agree.
Oh, that
Missed opportunity.
instant enter. He was waiting for that one.
Yeah, missed opportunity there to bolt to use the wizard in the first half may have changed the course of this game.
Yeah, like, being too aggressive with the Agify Witch before moving, like, your, like, failure, or, like, before giving you a chance to actually do stuff if you fail, was a massive mistake. Not taking, like 3 turns in a row where he had a good wizard, and he just said, I'll wait for next turn, and then next turn came, and just said, nah, I'm gonna end turn.
Bolting a legend would be amazing.
I was going to say, surely we bolt something.
Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt.
Give us that.
Kill the AV8, dude.
Yes!
You're off.
He's bolted the ball. And into a KO.
No. Bruce has got a chance here
Well,
to be the hero of the week.
hang on. He doesn't have a scoring threat, does he? Which is the real shame here.
Should have uploaded him.
Nope. So this one is over, everyone. Who's going to get the touchdown? Will it be Bitter Bruce to really establish himself as the lead touchdown scorer in the Rebel playoffs? I certainly hope so.
Might as well.
Go on, Bruce. Go on, Bruce. He's done it. And Bash Incorporated are going through quite comfortably, really, to the round of 32.
I mean, there were some points in the game where it could have went really horribly, but then DonkeyDragon rolled ones.
Yeah, I think DonkeyDragon missed his best opportunities, and it's sort of led us to this 2-0 win.
Yeah.
So Nasty Nick's going to level as well, the dirty player. Reminder, folks, if when you're discussing this on Discord, remember to keep it to the playoff spoilers channel only, just so that anyone who wants to come and catch the game later can do so without having the results spoiled. Obviously, whether or not they want to do that wasn't the greatest opener to the Rebel playoffs that we've seen, that one, but we are officially underway. People asking when the opening match of playoffs are. That was it, I'm afraid. Like we say, not the greatest one we've ever seen, but PapaNasty won't care. He is going through, and he will be facing one of either Barmushan or C. Arnud. So it'll be Dark Elves or Necro in the next round. But it'll presumably be Dark Elves or Necro that'll put up a little bit more of a fight than DonkeyDragon was able to today. Some rough Snake Eyes costing him at key points in the game, so don't want to criticise him too harshly. Just one of those days. So in that case, all that's really left to say is thanks to Crusader and Gerbear.
Always a pleasure, sir. Thank you for having me on.
It's great to be here for the memes. Take that for
I get to go to bed before 5 a.m. Wow.
There are no more matches now for the time being, so I'm going to go off and find something to eat and maybe grab a couple of beers for the evening. Hope you enjoy. We'll certainly have more dramatic games than that one as we go. Trust me on that. The Rebel playoffs are back, and we might as well watch Crusader's super fancy video, before we go. I'll hopefully be back tomorrow with more games if there's any games scheduled. But obviously if there's no game scheduled, then, gonna struggle.
We'll cast this game again.
No. Bye. Sleepy goes in. Have you ever seen this before?
Oh,
And the fourth Doctor!
Welcome to your life.
Neil the Nail.
And the first human is gone.
That was the first nail in the coffin.
Oh, that's a good one.
Sorry, Crusader.
You on the flip side, Crusader.
Jojo makes his engine fly the ground.
Acting on your best behavior. Turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to rule the world. It's my own desire. It's my own remorse. Help me to decide. Help me make the most of freedom and of pleasure. Nothing ever lasts forever. Everybody wants to rule the world. There's a room where the light won't find you. Holding hands while the walls come tumbling down. When they do, I'll be right behind you. So glad we've almost made it. So sad we had to fade it. Everybody wants to rule the world. Everybody wants to rule the world. Everybody wants to rule the world.